Welcome back, Micro Galaxians. Today we have an unboxing and review of the new Series 3 V-Wing from Micro Galaxy Squadron. It feels great to be back with another new ship in the collection, the V-Wing Starfighter. Now, this has been popping in and out of stock on Amazon. The price point is $16.99. As usual, I will have all the links in the description below. The back of this beautiful packaging shows exactly what this V-Wing can do. There's also some more illustrations of the ships released in Series 3. So when you click on this Amazon link, you're going to have an option for the V-Wing, Poe's X-Wing, and also Anakin's Jedi Starfighter. These two have also been popping in and out of stock, same price, $16.99. Make sure you save the links so that you have them at the ready when they do go in stock. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I post all these links on my stories right when they go live. The chase vehicles in Series 3 is General Grievous's Starfighter. We also have Poe Dameron's X-Wing, the one that gets blown up in The Force Awakens. So I believe Poe's is the chase at 5,000, and I believe Grievous is the rare at 15,000, which I do like that. If I had to have my chases a certain way, I would prefer to have Grievous's at 15,000 because it's a super obscure ship, and it is something that I would like to have in my collection and be able to find relatively easily. Poe's, on the other hand, I would like to have it in my collection, but if I don't find it, then it's not the end of the world for me. Here's a good look at that collectible blueprint card on the back of the packaging, which you can cut out and add to your collection. The two figures included is the Clone Pilot and R4P17. Very happy that we're getting more Clone Wars stuff because we can create some iconic scenes in our collection. Just in case, here is the barcode to help you track this down in store. As you know, Series 2 has been trickling in, so it's just a matter of time before Series 3 starts hitting those shelves. The V-Wing is definitely the father for the TIE Fighter, just the ergonomics and the design. You can tell there is an early concept that will lead into the TIE Fighter, especially with some of the slotting on the sides of the wings. Now, the ship itself is held up by the wings and also a landing gear mechanism at the front of the ship. This ship was used for more than just assaults. It was also known to be an escort for like royalty, expensive cargo. It was even used to escort Palpatine and Vader from Mustafar over to the medical bay that was on Coruscant. And not to mention, we also get to see it in the Bad Batch, where it's attacking the Havoc Marauder, which eventually gets saved by the Gonk droid and all that kind of stuff. This is a single pilot ship with an astromech droid. You can see the awesome details that they included on our pilot, as well as some awesome orange color to the visor. The sculpting and paint applications to these figures have remained top tier and have continued to improve. My only gripe is that the droid included is another R4. Ideally, I would have liked to have had a different color droid. The paint applications to our pilot continue towards the back side. They do not stop on the front, which has been amazing to see throughout this entire MGS line. And our droid remains consistent as well. Let's do some measurements. So from front to back, tip of the nose to the back of the wing, we're looking at about 6 inches. The height is just under 2 inches, I'd say 1 3/4. And then the width brings us to about 2 3/4. Let's see how it compares to some other ships she has shared screen time with. So I have some measurements here. The V-Wing, 25.9 feet, so almost 26 feet long. So here is Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, and that one rings in at 19 feet long. So this is probably maybe the best comparison, this like front to back profile view. There should be a significant difference between the two of these. I mean, we're at almost 7 feet difference. So I'd say these match up in scale really well. And here's just another look from them at the front view. Next is the LAAT, ringing in at 58 feet long, more than double the length of this V-Wing. I took off this wing just to give you a better look. So there's definitely some scale discrepancies between these two, but we knew that this line wasn't going to be all in scale as it is. I mean, it would just be impossible to achieve that with just the way, you know, ships are scaled in size and the Death Star and this and that. But this Republic gunship is bigger than the V-Wing, so that is a plus. I'm glad that this isn't bigger than the gunship. Now our biggest out of the four, the Havoc Marauder at 82 feet long, a beast. Definitely bigger than the V-Wing. I mean, this should be, what, almost more than three times the size of the V-Wing. Obviously, we're not there, but to create a Havoc Marauder at that size within this scale, we're looking at like $100 plus type of vehicle, and not everybody can afford that. So at the end of the day, as long as this is bigger than that, I am happy. Let's check out what this ship can do. So let's put our pilot and droid inside. we can open up this cockpit right here. The hatch is on a hinge joint. You can open it and close it just like so, and it will click into place. On the inside, there's some sculpting for like some side panels, also a mold for a chair. There's like some speckled paint throughout. I think that's just kind of like remnants off the exterior paint. And there's also a control panel with like all the flight mechanisms and all that kind of stuff. Our pilot is suited up and ready for flight, so we'll place him on in, close up the hatch. Now for our droid, these are heat sinks or deflector shields. They have articulation to them, so we can open them and close them, exposing our droid and this nice Republic logo. Like the rest of our ships, these astromechs are secured with a pin, so we can place him on inside. Sits in there. And now on the bottom of the ship, there is an ejector button, which has been molded and casted to like look like these little wires or repulsor vanes. And when you're done, he'll pop out just like so. But we'll pop them back in for the remainder of this overview. Now, so we have two Republic logos, one on the very top, one on the left side of the ship. We have dual cannons on both sides of the ship. There is no articulation to the cannons themselves. All the articulation is going to come from these deflector shields and the wings. Making our way to the front, you can see there is a nice sharp point, giving it a very intimidating look. Definitely aerodynamic, built for speed, built for combat, and you can see there's even some spots of weathering in between the panels. And here's another look at that throughout. Not a heavy amount on this ship. A simple black wash would go a long way with this. The back has some attractive sculpting. You can see all those little vents right there. Fantastic job. They were able to really nail that. We have two thrusters with some nice paint applications throughout. Very happy that they colored those. Now for the wings. The back of the packaging says we have 270 degrees of articulation for the top wing and 115 degrees of articulation for the bottom wing. To do this, we'll take our bottom wing and push it down, and then upwards it'll click into place. Our top wing, push it on down, it'll also click into place. Then you just do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and we are ready for combat. Dang, these look good. Man, I need a fleet of these. I'm just really impressed by just how much they were able to pack into this little ship. I mean, I know I've said this before, but it's just, it always blows me away. Now, if you look on the inside of the wings, you can see those little vents, which is very like reminiscent of TIE fighters, and I think these are like radiator vents for like cooling and stuff like that. Ever since I first saw these, they always reminded me of Star Fox, the R-Wings. I don't know what it is. I know they're completely different, but for some reason, it just always like reminded me of that. And I'm getting that same feeling when I'm looking at this today. But overall, I'm so happy with this. I think they did a great job bringing this ship to life. My only complaint is I need more shelf space or ceiling space, something like that. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to add a few more of these to my collection and display them properly. Now, when we're done flying and you want to revert it back to landing gear, all you have to do is the exact same thing you did, but in reverse. So we'll take this guy, push it on down, bring this up, and again, they will click into place in their landing gear position also. Which that landing gear has been hidden flush underneath the ship, something that they've been doing, and I love that because it's not bulky or stands out or anything like that. There's a little notch, pull it forward. You can see there's also like some sculpting and like hydraulics or something like that. Another thing to point out, and I've said it before, is the minimal amount of screws. There's only one to this ship holding it together, and probably like some factory glue. But this line as a whole has done a great job making sure that they don't have any unauthentic elements to it where they don't need to be. Alright friends, that's going to wrap up this review and unboxing of Micro Galaxy Squadron Series 3, the V-Wing Starfighter. Overall, I think this is a great piece to add to your collection. The price point is $16.99, and you can find it on Amazon. I will put all the links in the description below. There really isn't much I'd add or take away from this ship. I think they maximized it as much as they possibly could. In a perfect world, I'd probably make the astromech droid slightly different than R4. But at the end of the day, that's not a big deal to me. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this, if you're going to pick them up, and if so, how many? If you've been keeping up with Micro Galaxy Squadron, then you know there's been a lot of announcements, reveals, live videos, some amazing ships are on the way. Pre-orders for these ships are selling out quick, so I recommend finding me on Instagram to stay up to date instantly when new things drop. I'm also going to be posting all the links in the description below, regardless if the pre-orders have sold out, because there is chances that they will resurface with that same pre-order or new links. But that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you found this video helpful and you want to see more of it, be sure to like and subscribe. It is free, and I will see y'all in the next video.